6. So, I have banned a total of 10 people today for being toxicity on my channel. Just because I have a god roll of Hammerhead. Just because it doesn't have extended mag doesn't mean it's not a god roll. I don't have to have it. And I'm able to do 6.1 million damage on fucking Warlord's Ruin just by using only 5 solar grenades in total and just Hammerhead. I don't understand why people are literally so fucking skilled issued that they can't even see that this weapon right here, combined with boss spec and my Apotheosius solar grenades, I'm pulling out 80% damage increase. I can hit 2 million fucking damages in one clip, at least. So I only had to, so roughly about maybe half a million, 1.5 million or 1 million, depending on how fast I can get the kill and how fast I can shoot it. They don't understand that this is a god roll, regardless if it has no extended mag. It doesn't need extended mag to be good. Who gives a shit if it has 75, 72 fucking shit? Because it doesn't help if you can't kill the enemies. And if you waste the enemies' kills to get the damage, and then go back to the enemy kills because your rampage ran out, the reason why I'm doing this purposely is due to the fact that I can actually sit here and actually do massive amount of damage without even trying. I don't need high magazine to cause high damage. I get the 3 kills, do damage, reload. So when the next damage phase is ready, I have my weapon prepped, I have everything ready, I have the ads coming in, kill them, start the next damage phase. You don't need to have maxed out magazine. It honestly wastes more of your reserves, since Hammerhead has maximum of 400 magazine, even with 3 reserves. It only has maximum of 400. So if you're using 75 bullshit and you're wasting all that, you're gonna run out of heavy before you even get a chance to get out of heavy. I'm doing it a smart way to where I'm actually only using 59 mag, which I can still get that damage even if I'm low on health, low on damage. So let's say, for example, if I have 49 in my reserves and I just use my last bit, reload it, use 3 bullets to kill 3 enemies, use the rest of the damage on the boss, that's going to increase my damage even more, just to save myself from being emptied out. I was still able to do damage without being run out of heavy. What people don't understand is the fact that this is the god roll, and it doesn't matter if a YouTuber fucking doesn't say or talks about it. It's probably because they don't have it yet, or they're not hunting for Hammerhead. Just because your favorite YouTuber is not going for Hammerhead and you think this is a fake fucking god roll, then you're wrong. It's a skill issue. Because you're relying on somebody else's bullshit, of their bullshit lie, so they can use the build and so you have less damage. That's what other YouTubers have been doing. That's what fucking Izzacross has been doing. That's what's been fucking Dallo been doing. And that's what Rick Cactus has been doing. That's what they do. They fucking give you a shitty fucking build and say it's super fucking good, and then they quickly change it off camera and say this is good and it will help you do maximum damage, but they change it around so they can do high damage, so you're doing shitty damage. The reason why I know, because I fell for this bullshit. That's why I used Apotheosius Veil with Dragon's Breath. That's what I'm able to do. 7.2 million damage on fucking Warlord's Ruin and 7.5 million damage on War Priest. But you sit there and contemplate and fucking contradict me just because you have a skill issue and you can't go find the weapon and test it for yourself. I'm here to give you the God roll so you can test it and see for yourself. I'm not here and say, oh, this is the fucking roll that you must have, if not, the game will die. No. I'm sending this out so people can use it before it gets nerfed. Because of course when it's been modified and used a lot, it's gonna get nerfed. This is the only machine gun in the entire fucking Destiny 2 history that has two 30% bonus increased damage. First weapon in history. Commemoration didn't have it. Other machine guns didn't have it. This is the only machine gun in the entire fucking Destiny history that has both 30% damage increase. But when you sit there and say it's not a God roll just because they don't have extended mag, it doesn't matter. Because the extended mags, you're going to waste more heavy than you want to save. If you're wasting more heavy, you're going to run out of heavy before your last final phase. If you run out of final phase, you're going to have to switch to your secondary or primary, whatever weapon you're using. And you're not going to be able to do that high damage. The reason why I stay at 59, because I can stay at my peak damage, get 3 kills with 3 bullets, and use 56 on all damage. That's why I'm reached 6.1 million damage on Warlord's Ruin, only using Hammerhead and 5 solar grenades. It doesn't matter on if it's not a true God roll. It is a God roll because you want to save your heavy. Heavy ammo is scarce. You're not gonna find it everywhere. There's a rare chance you're ever gonna have like a pool of it. Your teammates will, but if you're doing a solo test or a trio, well, let's say it's dungeon, if you're having your teammates not damaged at all, you're going to need that heavy to come at you. So you can grab that heavy and put in your reserves. Because if you run out of heavy and you reach that final phase, you're gonna set to fail. 100%. That's why I keep my magazine at low. It doesn't matter if it doesn't have extended mag. It doesn't need it. It's already good without it. It doesn't need to have it. High caliber rounds. It hits hard. Slightly increases range, but hits hard. Increases stability. Moderate controls recoil. Slightly decreased handling speed, which I don't really need. It's a machine gun. Greatly increases range. Decreases stability a lot. That's why I don't use full bore. I can technically use ricochets, but I want harder hits. 10% for boss spect. 10% for solar grenades, because this season is solar grenades debuff. And the last is as long as the solar grenade lasts, which solar grenades last for 10 seconds. Which that's 10 seconds of me doing massive amount of damage. Why do you think I use Apotheosius Veil half the time with Whisper Worm or Dragon's Breath? Because I can stack that shit for more than 10 seconds. And on the final damage phase, I pop my well through all 5. So they stack damage while I'm shooting Whisperer. That's why I reached 7.5 million damage with fucking Whisper Worm with Fear Prep. It gives me 30 shots. So I don't run out. Apotheosius Veil gives you 5 grenades. Technically 6 if you throw your first grenade before you pop your grenade, before popping your super. So that's 6 grenades and 5 melees. That causes a lot of debuffs and scorch to help your teammates. That's the reason why I'm able to do so much fucking damage. I reached 7.2 with a weapon that people shit on, that don't even fucking use. Dragon's Breath. I used Apistesius, throw 5 grenades as a Scorching, combining with the Dragon's Breath Scorch. I'm doing so much more damage than Apex Predator Bane Switch. Or even Bipod, to be honest. You guys sit there and shit on my builds because I'm not a high-class YouTuber, but yet I created the most powerful builds. Sunbracers got nerfed because of me. Because the damage I was supposed to able to do, that I wasn't supposed to do. They would never find out the solar grenade stacking until I could literally put in 300 fucking videos of the same exact damage. Even higher than the previous video. They seen that, and that's why Sunbracers got nerfed 3 fucking times. Including solar grenade recharge. Even with the time vengeance in Bottle Glass. You're still not going to get that fucking grenade every 2 seconds. It's going to take about 20 shotgun shots, roughly about 10-15 seconds, to be able to get one single grenade. And all you guys shit on my fucking build, saying that Varys is better, but I want to put against someone who soloed Bottle Glass, who did it by himself, and I still outdamaged his Varys Brow. And that's what's using my Sunbracers. He got 2.5, I had 5.7. That's a massive difference between Varys and Sunbracers. Massive amount of difference. But sitting here and shit talk to me in toxicity, that just shows your skill issue even fucking through the roof. That literally shows you have no idea how the game works. And it's kind of sad that I have to have this talk to you guys. It's honestly sad that you have to sit here and be toxic towards somebody who has a fucking role that's able to do max amount of damage. Who's able to out-damage a Thunderlord. Who's able to out-damage a fucking Sinestro Nighthawk. But I think I made my point here. Stop being toxic towards lower class YouTubers who has a god roll or a Dia build. Because maybe that one day, maybe you use it and you be the top damage on your team. And then you have to go to that person and apologize for being such an asshole. I shouldn't have to make this speak, guys. It's common sense to respect people, not to shit on people. We're guardians. Work together. Help build builds. And help kill raid bosses. That's our job as guardians. Be friendly towards each other and stop being toxic. Because it's only pushing your friends away and pushing everyone who you want to play with because they don't want your toxicity in the game. It's the exact same way in the real world. People don't want you to be toxic because you can't accept facts. It's honestly kind of sad. But there's no point in pushing on, is there? It's just people gotta understand to not be toxic to one another, build each other up, and be a team. That's why Bungie made this game, so we can communicate as a community, and not as enemies towards each other. This
what
is
are
a
you
good.
on about?
I have banned people on my channel for the last 2 hours. I banned 10 people for being toxicity over my build. So, I had Rampage Gilitali, which is total of 60 damage bonus, plus Boss Spect, which is 10%, plus Solar Grenades, another 10%. That's 80% bonus damage weapons. They shit on my build because their favorite YouTubers don't talk about it. So they think my build is fake just because they don't test it. If they test it even once, they'll see I'm actually telling the truth. I have made a video of me
Just
doing
use rockets, bro.
No. The reason why I'm talking about this is because this is the only machine gun in history of Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 that ran with double 30% bonus weapons. We never had that. We either had one or the other. We never had both on the same weapon. That's why Hammerhead is the god tier machine gun. Not even Thunderlord can go up against it. Because the difference between a 4,000 shots per shot versus 15,000 per shot, it's a massive amount of damage and a massive amount of difference. I had to deal with toxic players because they can't get that through their head and have such skill issue that they have to put me down to better themselves because they don't want to test the weapon until the YouTuber talks about it. I got this on luck. Complete luck. Just because it's not a shiny version doesn't mean nothing. Yes, it can be crafted, well, enhanced, but your chance of getting a shiny version of this is a lower chance of getting Vex Myth class at 0.1% chance, back when it was at 0.1 again. That's your percentage of getting shiny Hammerhead with Rampage and Kill Tally. It's just, people need to understand that there's more than meets the eye. You got to go with someone that says, test it out for yourself. If it's fake, talk to the person. Don't be toxic. Most YouTubers are fake their builds. They say, oh, this build is dominating everything. This build is dominating everything. But they don't tell you everything. Because they switch things around so they can use the ultimate build and you get a shitty little tiny build. That's half the damage of what they're causing. I have fell for that twice. That's the reason why I don't watch builds anymore. That's why I create my own builds. Because I do everything what they said, every weapon they used, every fragment, every aspect, every armor, every mod, and I don't even come close to the damage. It's just, people need to understand that this is a god roll, and it's only a matter of time before Bungie actually nerfs it. This is the only machine gun in the game that can run to 30% debuffs. Well, not technically debuffs, but bonus weapons damage. That's what I'm getting at. I had to ban 10 people off my channel so they can no longer, they can watch my shows, but they can't comment anymore due to their toxicity and not understanding. Just like this another person. This row is mid at best. Having surrounded on it right now, like, you're not going to be able to do that much damage with surrounded what you don't understand. It's only 15% buff versus a Hammerhead that has 60% with 2 bonus damage weapon perks. That's 60. 10 for the Prospect, another 10 for the Solar Grenade. That's 80%. Higher than any other fucking weapon buff. And that's what people don't understand because they can't get this through his head. And they don't understand. Because they want to believe what they want to believe and not something that's actually true that's happening in front of them. Just like the Sunbracers, just like the Verities, just like the Apotheosis and Dragon's Breath and Whisper. People shit on my build with not even testing it out for themselves, and they don't even understand how good it is. I did 7.5 million damage with Apotheosis Veil and Whisper. Do 100k per shot. If you don't test it, you're never going to find out. It's just going to make you look like a toxic player that no one wants to play with. It is a skill issue if you can't accept facts that's literally sitting in front of you. The reason why I keep my magazine low, so I don't run out of magazine reserves quick. So I can preserve my damage
You ever heard
longer.
of Apex Predator?
Yes, I have Apex Predator with bipod, which is stronger than Bane Switch. I have outdamaged Bane Switch to people who use with the Horde and Bane Switch Apex Predator. I have outdamaged them by 2 million with bipod and reconstruction. People don't understand that bipod is extremely fucking good. Even though it has 40% decreased damage, combined with solar grenades, combined with Gjallarhorn, that 40% takes away to minus 10%. So really, you're technically shooting 3 times more than Bane Switch 2 rockets. It's called doing the math. Test weapons before you shit on them. Now, Slammer, I may have Bane Switch on it, but swords are one of the hardest to cock the Bane Switch.
All that yapping, play the game, bro. Cope.
Now, the reason why I did this, Biscuit, because I had to ban 10 people off my channel because there was toxicity over the build I have. Well, weapon I have. So I want to make this clear so everyone understands that it's a skill issue if you can't accept facts that's sitting right in front of you. But I'm going to be heading off probably now, get some sleep. There's a slight chance I'm not going to be able to sleep, so if you guys see me at the end of the night, probably like around 4 a.m., do you understand why? Because I can't sleep. So, I'll see you guys later. I hope this helps you guys to hunt for this down, because this is extremely massive amount of DPS build for Hammerhead. Rampage and Killing Telly is what you want to hunt for. You don't want Onslaught. You don't want fucking Desperate. Desperate's only 15%. You don't want Invasive Assassin, because by the time you even get that cock, you're gonna get that fucking weapon pretty much non-existence. You're gonna waste your reserves before you even get a chance to even use your heavy. The reason why I know, because I tested it. And it's right here. I use both Onslaught rewrite rounds. I use both Invasive Assassin and Surrounded. I use both Invasive Assassin with Onslaught. I use rewrite rounds with Surrounded. None of it came in the amount of damage I did with the Rampage Killy. I have literally outdamaged those with this about at least 2 million, even with the Solar Grenade debuff. Even 5 Solar Grenade debuffs couldn't do that much. So the bullshit fucking Onslaught, Assassin, all that shit is not the role you want to be hunting for. It's the role I have, which is Killing Tally and Rampage, which is 60% damage bonus, plus Prospect, and plus Solar Grenades. That's 10% of each. So that's 80% in total. People don't get that, then that's what pisses me off, because they're losing a amazing build and they don't even want to use it because they think it's shit. Kind of feels sad for them. But I'm going to end the conversation here. I hope this guys helped you, and I hope this helps you with better future builds to understand the test first before being toxic. Because no one wants to play with a toxic player. No one. That's why Rick Hackett barely has a team to play with outside of the clan. Because if you don't do his way, you're kicked, you're banned, and you're blocked. If you mess up anything that he tells you to do, kicked and blocked. That's how toxic he is to the community. and to the friends he has. But enough talking. I think I talked long enough. I hope you guys understand this and hope to see you guys on my channel. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.